Another year, another gradual step up for graphics and engine tech in 2025. We may start to see the full utilization of the 9th console generation's performative capabilities. Studio Asobi confirmed that last year's Astrobot used the full processing power of the PS5, but that was something of an outlier, though we may see more of that this year. There's little doubt that developers are honing in on the deeper capabilities of engine tech as well, with Unreal Engine 5 rolling along in its 3rd year of release. Here are 15 graphically stunning Unreal Engine 5 games to look forward to in 2025. Looking for an immersive cinematic game experience to fill the void of Naughty Dog and the like? Well, Retrieval is looking mighty fine based on the cinematic trailer and direction it's going in. The fresh team of industry vets at 333 Studios is hyper-focused on delivering a top-of-the-line cinematic game. Retrieval story puts players in the shoes of Hannah, someone finding themselves stranded in a retro-futuristic subway. While there has yet to be any gameplay shown, the cinematic is more impressive than half of the movie trailers I've seen in the last couple years. Described as a direct sequel to the first game, Killing Floor 3 is upping the ante with regards to its darker tone. With the red hue surrounding the environments and the mutated, monstrous Z enemies, this game almost looks like modern Doom titles at times. This 5-player co-op shooter has had a couple of betas so far and releases later on in the year. 2K's Mafia series is back and bolder than ever with a prequel exploring the origins of the Sicilian Mafia. Fans of Mafia 2 in particular have a lot to look forward to, as the Old Country follows protagonist Enzo Favara from his childhood working in the mines to his entry into the world of crime with the Teresi family. The game diverts away from the open-world structure of Mafia 3 to be more in line with the first 2 games in the series. You may have indirectly felt the impact of Unrecord through the recent popularity of body cam style games, but Unrecord is aiming to be more than just a viral tech showcase. The realistic body cam game puts players into the role of a police officer, solving various criminal cases through detective work and dialogue choices. The inspiration for Unrecord's narrative adventure components comes from games like Firewatch, so if you're itching for that kind of an experience, be on the lookout for its eventual release sometime this year. There's a new survival crafting game hitting early access later this year, set in the Terminator universe, and yes, it's open world. Terminator Survivors takes place after the first couple films, but it's not just an adaptation of Rise of the Machines. This is an all-new story set between T2 and T3 within an evolving open world requiring all the resource management and survival instincts players can muster. Early access starts sometime in the first half of 2025. The new entry in the beloved 2.5D puzzle platformer series introduces 2-player cooperative play for the first time. This has a wealth of potential considering the amount of interesting mechanics and problem solving required from the first 2 titles. The 2 protagonists, Lo and Alone, wield a bow and wrench, which are used to overcome unique obstacles. One of the highlights of the series is just how atmospherically haunting the environments are, so it'll be a treat to finally share them with a friend. If there's one game in particular that fans of intricate and rich environments should keep an eye on, it's Ballad of Antera. This fantasy action RPG looks downright gorgeous with its jaw-dropping world design. Every patch of dirt looks organically placed and hyper-detailed. Thankfully, there's an emphasis on exploration here. As the minimap showcases, there's lots of open areas to investigate and check out, with enemies protecting the secrets of the para-dimension and beyond. The devs have stated that each region has a unique biome and feel to it. And what's more, it's been confirmed that Ballad of Antara has multiplayer, whether that multiplayer takes the form of the jolly cooperation of Souls-likes or a raid-like mission structure is yet to be seen. Continuing the trend of unimaginable horrors beyond the mundane is the new Dark Picture anthology game Directive 8020. The first game in the new Dark Pictures season promises to be at least a little more interesting than Supermassive's last outings. The game is set on a planet 12 light-years from Earth, starring 5 protagonists as they try to survive after a horrible crash landing strands them. Subnautica Below Zero didn't quite reach the level of success the first game in the series did, so the true sequel has a lot to live up to. Subnautica 2 has a trick up its sleeve to help it stand out: 4-player co-op. Exploring the horrors under the sea with a team sounds downright exhilarating and terrifying. There's only been a teaser trailer so far, but the usage of Unreal Engine 5 promises to turn the deep sea terrors up a notch in the graphics department. The sequel to Fallout in Space has a lot of potential. Heck, the first game arguably lived up to its potential with the interesting party dynamics and the intricate quest structure. The corporate horror of the first game still left a lot of room on the table for interesting story developments for a sequel, and we've no doubt that The Outer Worlds 2 is up to the task. Expect the different planets to be even more interesting to explore and beautiful to look at with the Unreal Engine 5 tech being used here. Gamers are on the fence regarding the new Borderlands game. On the one hand, it's going to have more guns and feature a story that follows the underwhelming plot of Borderlands 3. On the other, we don't really know much about it besides a teaser trailer. Though what the trailer showed was actual gameplay, which is a promising sign. Borderlands 4 is sticking to the tried and true cel-shaded style as the last game, but if you look closely, it's looking way more detailed and even a bit more realistic. 4-player co-op returns and promises a boisterous time regardless, and the release date of September 23rd is pretty solidified at this point. This little-known survival horror game from the recently formed Mysterial Games may just be one of this year's biggest cult classics. It's got all the hallmarks of such a game. Players find themselves waking up in a science base overgrown with an alien parasite. This life form has taken over the plants and wildlife and mutated them into monstrosities. The thing that intrigues me the most is the interconnected map that looks to be somewhat Metro in its design, emphasizing backtracking and strong exploration. The game's environments are a living ecosystem that must be overcome with scientific tools such as DNA analyzers and an ultrasound tool. This will be a very intriguing game to check out when it releases sometimes later this year. 2025 is shaping up to a Kojima year for sure. We have Kojima Productions working on Death Stranding 2 and a surprise Metal Gear Solid 3 remake from Konami. To everyone's shock, Konami has given us little room for doubt concerning Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. The graphics in particular recreate the environments and moments of Metal Gear Solid 3 flawlessly to a modern sheen. And there's even an advanced cosmetic injury system that updates as you play the game. Rough Snake up enough and his scars and scrapes will cover his face and body, something only today's Unreal Engine 5 tech and its equivalent can create. Nacon may just have its first mega hit on its hands with Hell Is Us because it's looking like one of the most fascinating game experiences in a while. The creature design alone ignites the imagination in a way few games do. Just look at some footage of the game for yourself. The art, design, and graphical fidelity are punching far above their weight. As Remy, you return home from life as a soldier to find everything in ruins from a calamity. The Geiger-esque Hollow Walkers infest the country of Hidaya, and Remy must rely on his wits and problem-solving to find his missing parents and overcome a supernatural terror. The game is described as a 50 by 50 blend of challenging action combat and investigative exploration with dialogue decisions. Like the recently released Atomfall, Hell Is Us tasks players with using wits and cunning to find out how to progress rather than obvious objective markers. I always appreciate a game that knows exactly what it is and doesn't shy away from it. That's Burning Sword, Death Sun, a game about a leader of a martial sect emerging from hell itself to assert dominance across a fictional China through the use of his flaming sword and lightning fast fist strikes. I'm not exaggerating in the least either. And then there's the unapologetic Souls-like gameplay with a hack and slash spin to make things quick and frenetic. Unreal Engine 5 is used to good effect when it comes to the gorgeous vistas, swaying grass, and rich color usage, though the facial textures still need some time in the oven. Burning Sword Death Sun has a release window of Q2 2025, and the demo is currently playable on Steam right now, so check it out if you enjoy challenging action combat.